Why?
You guys are live.
Good morning and welcome to Unwanted Opinions. I'm your host, Justin MacDonald.
And I'm Matt Fischer.
Fact checker Jesse James and executive producer Dave Miller. So happy to have you here. I clicked one wrong thing on this and now it's just like, it's totally got me now.
I'm waiting for the share so I can share.
Well, I don't know what to do now.
I have a very short window of like being able to share. Otherwise, it's like I won't do it because I can't talk and operate a phone at the same time.
Well, Facebook all of a sudden just decided that, like, hey, if you have a page, any little thing, we're just going to switch you to that page and log you into that. And it's so annoying. And it's like it's harder to see. It's like on dark mode or something when I log into that one. Is it for you? When
They
you go
they
on
constantly
opinions?
change their. I feel like they constantly change their updates, and
Yes.
it's, sometimes I'm like, who is making these decisions at Facebook? Like y'all are like quadrillionaire company. Like, do you ever even think about what you push? Like when I go on a marketplace, like they reverted it back, but I go on a Facebook marketplace. I don't know. Like I sometimes think like maybe marketplace is a bigger deal than it is, but maybe people don't go on there as much as I do. And I'm not like buying stuff. I just love browsing marketplace for like vehicles.
Window shopping.
Yeah, like the old vehicles that like I don't need or can't afford. But yeah, I go on there and it's literally just pictures. Like they removed like the lower subtext where all the prices were. And I'm like, what idiot is like, this looks really clean. It's just like Instagram, like a tile of photos for people to
Yeah.
buy stuff, but yet you don't know the price.
Pause. You said for old cars that I don't need or can't afford.
Yeah.
Implying that if you could afford them, that's one that you would need.
Yeah, that's how money works.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So if it's the WS6 or whatever, is that the Trans Am?
why?
So if it's that and you had the money, you would need. That's a need at that point.
I sent him, like, when that happened, I sent him a screenshot into, like, his group chat. And I'm like, is this, like, did y'all got this update, too? And he, like, instead of being like, yeah, no, I don't got it, he's like, are you searching for Trans Ams to buy? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, I do that, like, once a week. Like, who doesn't constantly search for that Trans Am with T-tops?
I specifically don't.
I like to party, Justin.
No, that's fair. I specifically don't because I get ticked because Justin Miller will send me,
Dude.
the exact year Ford, F-150s that I want.
I don't even like Ford F-150s, and that one was like,
Oh gosh, and I'm like, please stop. And this is why I don't search them because I
Primo.
want one so bad, but I definitely don't need one. Shout out to Tony Caruso, who I just saw join the live.
what's up, Tony?
That's one of our coworkers.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I still want a Trans Am with T-tops.
Yeah. I back to what you're saying. Sorry, it was funny that you said
I already forgot what I was
that
saying.
I don't need or that I can't afford.
Yeah.
But you're just saying that do they even think about the
Because I found an $800 Pontiac Sunfire convertible. Like, I can afford that, and I need that.
No, you don't need that because you can afford that. Is what you're saying.
That's a classic.
I kind of
That's a
need
classic.
it. Yeah, it has all of the markings of the cars that I like to buy. It's a convertible. It's very cheap. It's probably unreliable, which means it'll be a great gambler.
Perfect.
I
Perfect.
picture you riding around in a sleeveless Kid Rock t-shirt and a bandana.
Have you seen me before?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why you picture it. That's why he pictures it. He's seen you. But you were saying that the updates that they do to Facebook.
No, yeah,
Marketplace
they
and all
reverted
that.
it. Yeah, but like it's the same thing with like the
Yeah, like, what are
podcast
you
and
thinking
like
here?
the pages and stuff like that. Like I feel like they change often and then they like change back,
Right.
and it's just insane to me, like some of the decisions that they make and how it can affect the usability of their website sometimes negatively.
Well, and that's the funny part too is that sometimes they will make a change, and they'll legit like revert back.
Yeah.
Like, well, who suggested that? And like, are they really listening to the people that use the app? And
No.
again, well, we know that they are listening.
Right.
If you've ever seen an ad for something that you've just briefly mentioned, we know they're listening.
Yeah,
It's funny that they take it into consideration.
the most targeted.
They're like,
ad-
whoa, guys, Matt Fischer in Ocala, Florida said he does not like this. Get on the changes.
Yeah, well, their targeted advertising is insane because I sent that one to you the other day. Speaking of cheap cars and gamblers, I have quite a few pair of like yellow tinted glasses. Basically, like, there's a name
Serial
brand
killer
called
glasses.
blue blockers, but that's also just kind of like what you call anything with like yellow glasses.
Accentuate your hair.
So I'm scrolling through Facebook yesterday, and there's literally an advertisement. I guess the brand Blue Blockers is coming back. or they're not coming back and they're just maybe marketing towards me. So there's an ad for blue blocker sunglasses, the kind that fit over your regular sunglasses, and it says the Chrysler LeBaron of sunglasses. Now,
It's the most targeted advertising ever.
we've owned 3 Chrysler LeBarons in the last 3 years, so that was very targeted in terms of like who they're speaking to.
Right.
And I sometimes
on top
feel
of
like
it-
I'm like, are other people looking at this like advertisement, or maybe is this advertisement like maybe they have like AI advertisement that's just generating it like for just me?
Well, sometimes
I don't
you'll
know,
see
because
those
it's just text.
T-shirts that are like, obviously, it's like some kind of AI.
I know it's what you're talking about. I feel.
Well, I'm going to use a different example than probably what you're thinking. But it'll be like, the world's best Dallas Cowboys and Florida Gators fan. And I'm like, well, and it's like the most like awkward like placement that doesn't actually like line up. And it's like, they'll do that for whatever, it says you're into or you like. And, but this one was different because it wasn't like it was auto inputting text. It straight up was like, that was the ad.
Yeah.
Where it was like the Chrysler LeBaron.
They misspelled
glasses.
both Chrysler and LeBaron, and I don't know if that's for like copyright or if they're just also dumb.
Good question.
Because I did notice that after I sent it. Because I'm a little bit of an aficionado when it comes to convertible LeBarons.
The Chrysler LeBron.
Yeah, it was literally, I think it was the Chrysler LeBron.
Yeah. Good times.
So, anywho.
So did you buy them?
No. I mean, I wouldn't buy that one on that advertisement because those are the ones that go over your like
Right.
actual prescription glasses. I don't wear those. I would buy like the regular like aviator style. Like
Just
Why do you?
buy some dummy glasses and then put those over top of the dummy glasses?
dang,
Any glasses he wears are dummy glasses.
Good one.
you are both right.
Okay. Don't matter. Cool.
You're gonna ask why I wear yellow tan glasses?
Yes.
Driving at night. I'm just kidding. I don't drive at night.
I'll tell you what.
That's dangerous.
I dated a girl in high school, and her dad was like, if it's ever raining real bad and you can't see, throw a, during the day, obviously. Hopefully it's obvious. He's like, throw a pair of sunglasses on, and it'll help. And I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I did it, and I was like, oh, wow.
I usually drive with them during the day, though. Like, I mean,
Sunglasses?
no, like a faint tint, like yellow hue, though.
But doesn't that make the yellow of the sun even brighter?
No. I mean, it's just like I don't know, like really dark. I don't like really dark sunglasses. Like
I
I
like
put them
super
on.
dark
Yeah,
sunglasses.
I can't do it for some reason. Like everything feels. It's like weird. It's like I'm in a pool of chocolate milk. Like I can't really see anything, And
I feel like of all the people, you'd love to be in a pool of chocolate milk.
oh well, yeah. I mean, then I'd have the runs later, but that's beside the point. But it's just I don't know. I don't like the really dark ones. Also, if
come
you've
up so
ever
much on
ridden,
this show?
huh?
So why does poop come up so much on this?
Poop is a natural thing that happens every single day. The fact that it doesn't come up on other people's shows is quite frankly
Well,
alarming.
now we know your schedule.
Right.
What, y'all don't poop every day?
I mean, I do multiple times, but not everyone does.
Not everyone poops every day?
Yeah, dude. I know.
What?
It's wild,
Y'all just
right?
like walk around holding it inside you?
Don't say y'all.
Y'all nothing.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm addressing the
y'all.
audience. Like, for real?
I don't know if people are going to give you feedback on that, but more power to them if they do.
I don't know. Like, y'all just carry that turd on deck for a couple days?
Yeah, it sounds so painful.
Yeah, hard pass.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Yeah, it would be hard.
Yeah, no doubt.
Get yourself a squatty potty, get in the position, stand up on that seat, do what you got to do, but like move it.
Speaking
stand
of
up on the
questions,
seat?
No, but you can.
yeah.
What do you?
What is this? Is America?
That's true.
Yeah, this is America. We have squatty potties. Like if you're from not America and you don't have access to a squatty potty, you just stand on the seat.
All right. Good to know.
Speaking of questions for y'all and for the audience, this is a genuine question because I thought this is one of those things where I'm like, well, this has got to be normal. And then I said it to someone yesterday and they're like, are you okay?
I hope this isn't going where I think it is.
Oh, well, maybe, hopefully. No, so do y'all ever like just get in your car and just yell?
No.
Like,
I have.
like,
Yeah, I have. I what I do more is just will be sitting there working or at home or whatever, and I'm just like compulsion to just be like, you
well,
just
we
make
know
noise.
that. We know that. No, I do it like when I'm at work. I take deep breaths, and people are like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just like, I got to release."
No,
you know?
I'm about to scream.
Right. Well, because in my car, I scream, and I'm not mad or anything like that.
Sure,
It's just like, just a burst of energy.
Punching the steering wheel as I'm yelling.
This is
It's been a great day.
But I just, but like, you just like, ah! And then
You
you're
should
like,
just start
okay, I
yelling
feel
in
good.
the office.
Right, I should.
Like, just take that deep breath in, and right as people turn to say, "Are you okay?" Like, before they even get it out of their mouth, just go, "Ah!" And then I guarantee you, people will start listening a lot more. They're like, "I don't know, man. He's gonna yell again." So
is this your way of saying no? You don't yell in the car.
Yeah, I don't yell.
I don't yet know.
I can't even imagine you yelling ever. So this
Have
question
you
doesn't
ever
count
raised
for
your
you.
voice once in your life?
Yeah, when the dog gets out of control.
Okay.
Hey.
That really
Yeah.
seems like that checks out.
Stop.
And more of a whistle.
Yeah.
He's
You
like, I
whistle
talk
with your
into my
fingers,
phone,
or
and
you-
then I like let the phone replay it on high volume, so the phone yells
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you.
And then he comes in.
And then he comes in.
plug it into the
Hey,
speakers.
please come back. Yeah. You can have that
Well,
idea.
I yell in my car, and it's a nice little release. I feel good, get my energy up. I do it especially when I have like some pre-workout in me, and it's usually
I feel like I know the reason why now.
why?
Pre-workout.
Well, and that's not always why.
Oh, okay.
But it's usually just like, I don't know, man. It's just like a yawn to me. Like,
Like, and this isn't in your car, like, because you're experiencing a bit of road rage.
no, I'm not mad at all.
Because I would say, like, I'm there with you. Like,
No, I don't. Listen, I told you once I had AC in my car, road rage almost immediately left.
mine's just gotten worse over the years.
Your
Well,
AC.
I think just your rage in general is going to. Actually, I'm going to take that back. I think that you've reeled in your rage on every day, but it all comes out when you're on the road.
Yeah, that probably checks out. I get irrationally angry on the road.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I will yell, like really like scream yell, like and profanities at someone who has done something trivial, and like I feel for like a split second like a little bit of shame. And then I'm like, no, that guy's just a prick. And then like I convince myself
Justify it.
that I am justified. But like there's a bit of embarrassment and shame after that because I'm like, did you really just yell that loud and say those things over someone who like literally just fully within their right pulled out in front of you?
So
The answer is yes.
you have a daughter now, so I'm just going to warn you this. My daughter was like 8 or 9, maybe. She still brings this up. And we're driving to the store, and she randomly brings up like, Dad, what's God? You know, like one of those like questions.
Like this is not a conversation we have on the way to Walgreens, dear.
Right. So we start talking. I'm like, no, it's great because, so we start talking. I was like, well, personally, I think, God is in everything. And so you have to treat everything with respect. Get out of my way! Are you stupid? Like, I just like unload on this guy. And
Dad, why are you talking to God like that?
I go right back into the conversation, and she just is like, losing it. And I was like, what's going on? She's like, you literally just told me that God's and everything, you have to treat everything with respect, and then immediately called this person names.
Yeah.
Except for bad drivers.
I've been trying to like
I was like, well, devil might be in everything too. Right?
they coexist. When I take her to my mom's house in the mornings, it's just like I try and like I know I'm an aggressive driver and I know I have road rage. So like I've been trying to be like, hey, you got your daughter in your car? So I put on like chill music and like I'm like I leave with plenty of time and I try and like make it a point not to be like that guy with her. As soon as she's
Right.
out of the car and she's dropped off, like it is like
Game on.
It's Talladega on the way to work. Like I'm drafting people, passing people.
Trust me. Yeah, listen, if he ends up behind me, I just pull over and let him go.
Yeah, he did that last Friday. And I beat you by like 5 minutes to
Yeah.
work. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
just like, he must have stopped or something because
I do it more often than you probably know.
I literally just realized it.
Yeah.
For the first time, genuinely, because I will honestly say until last week I didn't know that was like a frequent thing.
Well, because I get anxious.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've had elderly people pull over on Fort King Street in the section with the roundabouts. And I'm like, thank God you're home, because they pull into like one of the houses like on the side of the road. And as soon as I pass them, I see them back out and I'm like, what the hell are they doing? And then I realize like that was me, and that's when I feel a little ashamed. And then I'm like, nah, it's for the better. Now I got a straight shot until I hit the next car.
You know what's funny is I've realized this is kind of going to be related to a lot of things now. So I've realized that I think a lot of people aren't even really concerned. Like fireworks is an example. They've been setting fireworks off in my neighborhood for about a week now.
Yeah, I've been hearing them too. I love it.
And so, ditto. And so do my kids. And it's like, okay, they stop by like 9. Like, starting tonight, they're probably going to, last for 5 days up until 1 a.m. But
Hell yeah.
But up until then, and so I was just thinking about it, like, I wonder how many. So I start seeing it on the neighborhood chat, and then I see it on the Ring safety network and all of that. And it's like, is that guns or fireworks, and how late are they going to do this? And then I was thinking about people that get upset and actually like call the cops, and I'm like, are you actually bugged by what's going on? Is that tiny little pop that you're hearing really enough to set you off? Or are you just mad that someone else is breaking the rules? And I genuinely think...
is fireworks against the rules?
Yeah, you can only technically... It's like New Year's Eve and 4th of July technically is when you can... The only time you can set them off for like pleasure for celebrating the holidays.
Get out.
Seriously, the rest of the time it's like...
I thought it was like legal unless you get caught doing it.
Well, that's what a lot of people assume.
Okay.
So, but I realized, like, I think people are just more upset about other people breaking the rules because we're more rule followers than we like to think that we are. And then I'm like, oh, good thing I'm not that way.
That's the whole reason, like, those neighborhood chats exist.
Right.
Like, let's snitch on people.
But I realized I am that way, and I realized this because of when I'm driving. Because when I'm driving on the interstate, now, as I've gotten older, I've slowed it down a little bit, but on the interstate, I'm going to be anywhere from 78 to 82, right?
Yeah, same. Plus 5 or 10.
Right. And so in my mind, anyone going slower than that, I'm like, oh, get out of the way. Anyone going faster than that, I'm like, okay, speed racer. And in my mind, like, you shouldn't be breaking the rules other than the exact amount of rule breaking that I'm doing. Any above what I'm doing is like, oh,
criminal.
That's criminal. That's not okay.
On the road, like, I'm an absolute hypocrite. Because I'm like,
and off the road. Too.
No, but like with driving, it is, and like I know that one more than anything else because like I will scream at someone and have this burst of like rage because they just did something,
right?
And then like 5 minutes later, I'm doing it to someone else,
exactly.
And then when they get mad at me, I'm like, this prick, you know, how dare they, the gall, you know, to get mad at me, and then it's just like, oh yeah, I just was, yeah, whatever, forget it, move on.
Yeah, it's just funny to me that it's like. We accept the amount of rule breaking that we're doing. That's totally reasonable. Yeah,
for sure.
Any more or any less is frustrating.
That's like that's because everyone thinks like what they're the main character in the movie or something like that.
I am the main character in my movie, and I hope that you all are the main character in your own movie.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's like in like they're like the main character, and like all y'all are side characters, and they're like that's why it's okay for them, but not okay for you.
Yes.
I will say it was recently. Lauren and I were going somewhere, and I heard some reports, and I was just like, it's awfully loud fireworks in the middle of the day. And I walk outside, my neighbor's out there. We kind of look at each other, and he's like, them gunshots, right? And I'm like, yep. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Be safe. And it was like someone unloaded like a whole clip too, because it was like, pa, 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 pa. And I was just like, okay, you know, but it was off in the distance. It was fine.
This is it's fine.
But it's one of those things where it's just like, at first I thought it was fireworks, and I was like, oh, it's a gun. And then I'm like, I'm sure it's okay.
Yeah.
Someone just probably got a new toy and is fired into the ground.
Just fired.
Also highly illegal. Yeah.
Just fired it straight up in the air.
Yeah. You ever here little tip or trick? If you ever shoot a warning shot to warn a criminal and the cops come, don't tell them that you shot a warning shot. Tell them that you shot at them and missed, even if they were running away.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know. Speaking of which. Cops are now the fun police, legit the fun police. Now, don't get me wrong.
Haven't they always been the fun police, though?
I think some cops can be cool, and I'm hoping that we're going to be cool about this. But this is an old Florida statute that's been put back into place now that if your music can be heard more than 25 feet away, you're liable to be ticketed. Like $116. Starts today, by the way.
So don't yell in your car.
Right, like, don't sneeze too loud in your car.
Why couldn't they just say, hey, for those of you who are putting speakers in your engine compartment to play music externally, just don't do that. Like, I have no problem with someone has a nice sounding sound system inside the car.
Yeah.
But when they started playing it, and I'm talking about like inside the car and you got your windows down, I'm fine with that. Like, because it's like you go by and then you're gone. And it's like a brief second. But it's like when you have like the really crappy sounding speaker in the engine bay.
Well, I got behind a Jeep couple weeks ago that actually had like the panel,
Like the sound bar on the top.
the column, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the column speakers. But it was a kid, and he had them. They were all turned out.
Yeah.
And it was just blaring crappy music. And actually, like I said, it wasn't even like
They never
the
played
bass
good
versus
music.
treble wasn't adjusted. It was
Yeah.
like all treble, like I did when I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
And but it's just like, okay, what are you doing? So yeah, outward facing, which people would be like, oh well, but if you have a motorcycle and you have bags, speaker bags, But yeah, I think outward facing is like, okay, that's a little egregious.
I don't know. I hear Harley come by and I'm like, their sound systems are designed for motorcycles, and
Right.
like they're actually, and like you hear it for just such a brief second,
Yeah.
but it's like when they have the speakers externally, like in the engine bay,
Right.
playing outside, like it never sounds good, and you hear it much longer than like say a passing cruiser with the speaker bags, but also it's just like. I don't know, like if it's inside your car, it's like, cool, I can hear your music coming from outside your car, but like when it's pointed outside your car, I'm like, why do you think anyone wants to hear this? Like, it's terrible music, too.
Why do you think anyone wants to hear this? Yeah.
Old men right
No,
I'm trying to
Gen-
find a middle ground of
Gen-
being like,
right.
you have a nice sound system. I'm not against that. It's just the crappy sound systems with the crappy speakers that are designed to play
So
externally.
when you were in high school, you didn't have subwoofers, you didn't have like 212s.
In my car, yeah, in the
People could
car.
hear it through walls and through
No.
houses and businesses.
I will say this,
That's not my problem. I don't
genuinely,
care about
I
those.
don't care.
It's the ones where it sounds like it's the flea market speaker, where
Yeah.
like that's too.
Super tweeter in the grill.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called, but yeah, that's like the external speakers.
But
and it's
also,
just, ugh.
I still don't think that we should have a law. We just go, hey man, you're being annoying and people don't like you.
Yeah,
like
they've thrown-
boo this man.
Well, I remember getting stopped downtown when I was 16 because I had 412s and it was 6:30 in the morning and I was sitting at the corner of Harry's right there and just going off. This thing was going off.
rattling
And the
everything.
cop just walked up. I didn't know he was behind me and knocked on my window. I was like, oh.
Yep.
He's like, what are you doing? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to work.
Yeah.
He's like,
Listen to music.
it's like, turn this down. He's like, he's like, you're just sitting here. Because like, you're shaking at everything. I was like, oh, well,
Yeah,
So no ticket or anything like
no,
that?
he just scared,
And
scared
that's
the hell
good
out of me and
policing.
moved on.
Probably at that time there was a statute in place, and I would tell
Yeah,
you this
it was.
because the statute says like no tape player or other go read the statute. That's when I was like, oh, this is an old statute revisited because it's like no tape player or other mechanical like music making device, and I'm like,
I don't think Bluetooth is mechanical.
well, if your phone is
Get them on the technicalities,
if your
people.
phone is like most phones are like SSD.
That piss is digital.
Bingo. It's all SSD, so it's not mechanical anyway. But I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like really just another reason to pull us over.
It is
like
You nailed it.
Right.
It is one more probable cause to pull you over and then search you and then arrest you for something else. Absolutely it.
yeah, and it's just silly to me. Like I don't know why we're doing that. Of all days,
we
though,
know why. We just talked about it.
Right. I dropped my kids off, and
Like actual kids, or you went poop?
no, my actual kids.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
Does Nick also send you that like poop word of the day videos?
Yes, he does. And he also sends me a lot of like midget reels.
Thank you.
I don't know what his.
I said the same thing to him. I'm like, what is your deal with the midget content?
Yeah,
Or the
I
little
said
people
the same thing
content.
to him as well, and he's just like, I don't know, man, I just like them. Yeah, it's something along those lines.
He relates to him.
I guess.
But it was like every single one was
Yeah,
like a midget,
finally-
and then all of a sudden he'd throw a poop one in there. So
Yeah.
it's like I thought I was getting like catered content. Apparently he's just like
No, when I
splashing that
find
around to
out, listen, when I
everybody.
find out, because sometimes someone will send me something, and I'll reply back, and they go, "Oh yeah, a lot of people are saying that," and I'm like, I don't care about your memes if you're sending them to a lot of people. Then, like, I took the time to reply to you personally. Whatever.
I do love when I get from random or not like from friends, but like all not connected, like the same reel.
Yeah.
Because then you just go, what do these people think about
Yeah,
me?
I don't actually like it because I do mostly think that. That was like 10 years ago. There was a. This is before like Reels and all of that, TikToks. There was a video of these girls getting in a fight, and then the girl throws a shovel at the end.
Yeah, that video is great.
Yeah, you hear like just go bing, kidding you.
She had a hell of a throw.
Like 12 people shared that video with me specifically, and I'm like,
Thinking
what?
about you.
Why are you sharing this with me specifically? Like, yeah, mostly whenever I get like multiple people sharing the same reel, other than like the Heelys, like I get all the Heelys videos, but the other ones that are just like weird, or they get in a fight, or like
See, like
why
one of
this
the recent one was like the that flat track race, and they're on like mini bikes, but like one of them is like a porta potty mini bike, one of them is like a jet ski mini bike.
Nice.
You know, and so like a couple people were sending me that one, and then the other one was that limousine with the jacuzzi in it that was like going off the jump.
Yeah.
And so
Oh, well,
like,
see,
I'm not
those
mad.
are okay.
Yeah, well, those are okay, but like those are like the two most recent ones where like I got message from multiple people separately, like, yo, check this out.
I'll get ones that are like, what was this like?
Shovel throwing, yelling in the car.
Or like, yeah, I won't get into it.
Yeah,
it's
thanks.
just things that, yeah, you're welcome. Cool. Anyway,
Thanks.
Fun Police. I'm just hoping they do what they did with the mask ordinance here, and Kent Gwynn and Sheriff Billy Woods come out and say that they're not going to enforce it.
Oh, God.
Because if we're going to choose things to not enforce, hey, I'd appreciate this one if we're going to go on record about it.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it now.
Don't do it.
I wanted to so bad.
I agreed with, hey, don't enforce the mask ordinance. I'm fine with
No,
that.
no, I'm not talking
But
about
now
that.
we get to go, hey, we're going to choose the things we're not going to enforce. This is my request to you
Yeah.
guys. Don't enforce that one.
I was going to say, like, I've written up there, I'm sorry, I thought this was America, because for, like, the fourth year in a row, Ocala and Marion County are deciding not to do a fireworks show. Like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, no, you're out there making all these stupid laws infringing on our freedoms, and yet you can't even give us a damn fireworks show? Like, y'all need to
Shots
tighten
fired.
up. Yeah, City of Ocala, put on a
thanks.
freaking fireworks show for once.
I was
Do
like-
something.
When I think about my memories growing up,
Yes, fireworks shows.
a lot of them, like a lot of my like core memories, relate to 4th of July and how.
And guess what? You want these neighborhoods to calm down and get off the, next door app and group chats complaining and snitching on their neighbors.
Give 'em a
Put
place
on
to
one
go.
really good show collectively in the city, and then you'll get everyone show up to that, generate some revenue, and then now they're not blowing their fingers off in their neighborhoods and catching retention ponds on fire. And I've done neither of those
Why are they not doing a show this year?
because they're busters.
So we don't know why.
No,
straight
no, okay.
busters.
They don't have, and I wrote it down, Dave, so I'm glad you asked that.
I wrote it down.
My question is, because Symphony Under the Stars, they do fireworks, so it can't be a fire band.
And they
it
do
can't be
awesome
COVID
fireworks at
related.
that too. Like, I mean, that's an awesome event. So
Is that on
they
one
don't
of
have
the
a
3
sponsor or an organizing entity. Hello, sponsor it and organize it yourself. That's what you do. Okay? Problem solved there. And then they talk to some firework monger up in like North Florida. I don't know what they're called. And he said something about a shortage of drivers, like to drive the fireworks. Like, okay. Shortage of fireworks themselves, and this is the one that surprised me. A shortage of fireworks technician. Hello? You're looking at one. Like, it blew my mind, like my jaw dropped.
So
when
Matthew's volunteering for the next fireworks show.
yeah,
Just putting that out
I've
there.
been a firework technician before.
And he still has all his fingers.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, we towed a pontoon boat out to the middle of the lake. It was just.
So that's not even a pontoon boat.
It was
pontoons.
just a pontoon with like the top deck on it. It was technically a floating dance floor, but we turned into a fireworks barge. Yeah, we anchor that thing out in the middle of a lake and have like a big old show of illegal fireworks. So like I know what I'm doing. I'm like semi-professional, but it's just one of those things. It's like, how do you have a shortage of fireworks technicians?
You didn't stay on the pontoon to light it?
No, we were 100% on that pontoon to
Okay,
light it.
all right.
Like, but there's no motor. There's no like. So if it went south, like if all your ordnance got like compromised, like you just had to jump in the water and swim.
I mean, at least you're on water.
Bingo. That's why it was safe as
That's a man-made lake too, right?
It was, yeah.
Wild.
But I don't know. It just was surprised me that A, we don't have them, and B, they're just like, we don't have people to light them off. Like you do. Put the call out there.
You do.
Put the call out there. The people
Calling all fireworks.
Yeah, you bring them, they will come. Like it's like Field of Dreams, but with fireworks and freedom.
It does stink.
I got irrationally angry on it just because it's like. I just don't get it. Like
Well,
you're
and,
right
like,
though.
I'm
Growing
sorry.
up with now that I have
Gas
kids
is
too.
$5 a gallon, so we're supposed to drive somewhere else and go watch that city's fireworks.
Yeah, because it's not like it's just City of Ocala. It's Marion County as well.
I was going to say, just go down to Bellevue.
No, they said all of Marion County, they have nothing planned. Because they interviewed, like, people in the fire departments, and they're like, we issued 3 permits, and, like, 2 of them were for private events. And I'm like, dang, those people know how to party. Yeah. I'm like,
Is that public record? Because I'm going to watch.
One of them was in, like, a neighborhood. It was, like, a private event in a neighborhood in, like, southwest Ocala. And I'm like, okay.
It's probably like.
I'm, like, super mad that my neighborhood's not, like, cool like that.
I feel like if you drive around Southwest Ocala, you'll find that.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I didn't even think about permitting for.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's something you have to do, but
So where were the old fireworks at?
didn't they used to do them at McPherson just like, or not Mc, was
They
it?
used to do it over by.
It
Or
was,
was it
Tuscaloosa, then McPherson, and then God and Country was over at the fairgrounds, like Golden Ocala.
Yeah. So God and Country was the last one that was put on by the
Yeah.
JCs.
Didn't they used to do them way back in the day out of the fairgrounds where off of
Camp?
Yeah.
I don't ever remember them being there.
Okay.
Tuscaloosa, that was to me my favorite was Tuscaloosa, and then it moved to.
They did them
McPherson.
downtown one year because I remember being in the back courtyard of O'Malley's and watching them over the rooftops. They had some event down, and I'm pretty sure that was 4th of July. I think they were setting them off from a rooftop, which I'm like, that's what you need to do. Like, put that Hilton to use, fireworks on the roof. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be amazing because then you could see it from all over because you're launching them from above the tree line.
We need
To tap into my ideas more? Yes.
rooftop pool. Is what
You're
we
right.
need.
You're absolutely
Really
right.
what we need.
Just build a building, just have a pool on top. Like, you don't even need, like, sides.
Let's go to
just
the
like,
water tower.
Just 4 large legs with a pool on top.
Yeah.
Would you climb a ladder up it?
No.
No, I
No,
think
so-
I think it should be a ladder. That way you keep a lot of the riffraff out.
Funny enough, I don't really have a problem with heights, but I had to climb a windmill one day, and
Hold up. Please explain this, Don Quixote.
I didn't fight a windmill. I climbed a windmill
Where?
out of the farm that I used to work at. I can't remember why I had to climb it.
Out at the wind farm.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, I don't mind heights. I'll climb up there. And I started climbing. And this is when I realized that, like, mind over matter really is a thing. And sometimes your mind says no.
Yeah.
And your body says no. Because I started climbing and my legs just, I was like, why are my legs getting so heavy? And they just stopped moving. And I'm like talking to my dad or whoever I was with. And I was like, I'm stuck. And they're like, what do you mean you're stuck? Like, your pants stuck? Like, you know, and I'm like, no, like, my legs aren't moving. Like, I genuinely couldn't process it. I'm like,
Yeah.
my legs won't move. I don't know what's going on. He's like, oh, you're scared. I'm like, I'm not scared of anything. And so, like,
Go down.
Yeah.
But they won't.
no, they
go
didn't even
up.
want to go down either. They were just like, stopped. Like, that's it. And then, you know, finally I was like, very shakily and very, like, my leg was like now 1,000 pounds, which about close if you ever see my legs. Like, but I like,
Accurate.
one at a time get up there. Hands start shaking. I'm like, what is this? Because I didn't think I was that afraid, but my body was like, no, dude, this ain't good.
I haven't hit, like, I wouldn't say I'm someone who's afraid of heights, just like you said you wouldn't, but, like, I haven't hit that limit yet. Like, I haven't been on something that's been so high where, like, I have that feeling. But I will say, I have watched those videos of those people who changed the light bulbs in the cell towers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's my limit.
Right.
Like, because it's like, the guy's like going up and, you know, they're following safety procedure and they're clipped off. But even then, it's like, even if you fall, like, you have like a couple feet before your harness kicks in.
Yeah.
And then you're just dangling there. And, like, also, like, the amount of poop in your pants you're gonna have to clean out after
man.
that. Like, but that's where I'm like, okay, yeah, I think 1,000 feet is where I'm just like, because they look down with their cameras, and I get a little queasy just watching the video.
Well, the angle of the cameras, too, make it even that much
Oh,
more
of course,
dramatic
but
and
like what
worse.
I don't get is like how they fit the harnesses over their giant balls when they climb up there because they're insane.
It's good money to do it, from what I've heard.
Well, it's probably also very dangerous.
Yeah, to me, it's less about just the height itself, right? Because the height, I'm not as concerned about.
It's not the height that kills you.
It's the sturdiness of whatever I'm on. And so when I got up on that, thing, and it's just swaying
Which is
around.
crazy to think that like anything that's built so high in the air sways.
Right.
Like,
But they all do.
They all do. Yeah. I mean, it's just like you just don't realize it,
Yeah.
and just a little bit of a sway when you're up there is just
Right.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, why is this moving? This shouldn't move.
Meanwhile, they got, guys eating sandwiches on an I-beam, building the, Rockefeller Center or Empire State,
Yeah.
whichever one it was.
Yeah.
These guys are insane.
Wild.
That's why they all have mesothelioma now.
if you also suffer from muscle fatigue.
I don't know.
I'm sure you guys do too. Whenever you see one of those commercials or hear one, does it ever make you think like, man, what are we doing now?
Oh, 100%. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, and sometimes I will see stuff now, and I'm like, that's going to be on a commercial
Oh,
later for a
yeah.
class action lawsuit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just like the asbestos in walls. And like, did you work in like HVAC and come in contact with asbestos insulation or something?
You start
like,
seeing packaging that starts claiming that they're something free, like, oh, BPA free
Yeah.
or nitrates free. And you're like, wait a minute. We've been ingesting this
Right.
Water
years.
bottles with like BPA free on water bottles became like a huge thing.
Right.
Like, we're BPA free. And I'm like,
Which they legally
Like-
have to be.
but I literally thought though, like years and years ago, I'm like, wait a second, like how long have we been drinking water bottles with BPA?
Right.
Also, what is BPA?
Right. Whatever it is, we're going to see a commercial for it in 30 years
Yeah.
from now.
Yeah, and that's why I always laugh at when people are like, yeah, businesses will regulate themselves. And it's like, no, they absolutely will not. You know, they absolutely will not. Like, if they can get away with it, like, they would have BPA in these bottles if it saved them some money.
Who says that?
sure.
But that is wrong.
Yeah, it's just like, no, they need a little bit of oversight. Otherwise, like, they're going to be doing some wild stuff.
Some businesses will. 98% of them will not.
Yeah. You always hear that outlier where you're like, wow, they did, you know, and those usually make headlines. You're like, oh my God, they regulated themselves and did the right thing. Like, good for them. Weird.
So I don't know if you guys keep up with crypto at all, or this crypto winter that is now crypto summer.
Is that a good thing or bad thing?
It's a bad thing. Crypto's
gotcha.
been like struggling for a while now. And so BlockFi was like a finance company through the blockchain. And 10 months ago, they were valued. They had an actual valuation at $3 billion. Right now, FTX, which is like a holding company, has contracted to buy it for $25 million.
Ooh, sick loss, bro.
10 months.
Ugh.
10
That's insane.
months. And so they handle all the NFTs and crypto and all of that. So, man.
We got some actual physical NFTs behind us, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Check those out if you haven't seen them. Those are all from like local artists or local physical NFT makers. Yeah.
Physical NFT.
Physical NFT makers.
Physical.
Cool.
Them NFTs are physical.
Speaking of bicincidents,
Bicincidence. That is not a tooth.
you got I have to put a crown on your number 3 bicincidence. So you guys, I was writing notes or I walked in or something. You guys were talking about like an uptick in bison incidents, where like people getting like
Yeah, I saw this guy get gored. It was nuts.
He got gored in his nuts.
No, he got gored, comma, it was nuts. Yeah, it was just, there's been 2 bison attacks in Yellowstone this week.
now are they provoked?
I don't know. I don't know the demeanor of bison.
I will tell you
I
this.
imagine they have a chip on their shoulder considering what we did to them like 150 years ago.
that was their brother, the buffalo.
The buffalo is a bison.
It's like a
Okay.
square and a rectangle, buddy.
No.
like a square and a
It's
rectangle.
bison, and that's called the American buffalo. Don't try me with these animal facts, bro.
So the buffalo, the North American buffalo, is not extinct. That's fake news.
That's fake news. That's fake news.
Oh boy!
Anyway,
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
no, this family was walking on a boardwalk, and like a bull, that's a male,
Got it.
charges them. Instead of like running the hell away, which I think any sane person should do when a bison charges you, they just kind of like stood their ground, which, you know, I learned with the monkeys at Silver Springs with you.
Yeah.
That's like the number one mistake, because they're like, okay, try me like a free sample. And they didn't move, and the thing charged him. And like, they run, and then it looks like they're like, oh crap, we forgot our child. And then he runs back, and then like as it's coming for the child, and then it like literally gores him and like flips him, and then he gets up and they run away. And then just recently, I didn't see the video yet, but like a 70-something-year-old lady, I guess, gets attacked as well.
I will tell you this. You about to?
So here it says bison are the hipsters of the 2 animals, sporting thick beards, and buffaloes are beardless. There's other differences, but that's the one that stood out.
Thick.
thick beard.
That tells me very little, but thank you.
Well, look for a beard. And you'll know it's a bison.
Anyway, they're deceiving. So we went up to
Conniving.
yeah, we went up to, I can't remember, it's like something Colonel Mustard Park or something like that. I don't know what it is.
Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders
Yeah.
Park. We were up in South Dakota, and there's a park that you can go through that often has bison that come up. And I've got like a picture like right next to it because they're like, they're in the road and they're all around us. And they seem like they're like pretty relaxed, but they're pretty big.
Yeah, they were huge.
They got some horns. And so it's like, I wasn't nervous, but I wasn't like, I'm not
nervous
gonna
around any animal bigger than me.
Yeah, I'm not going to stick around and test this out. So we take a few pictures, but we're like, they're still wild animals, even though they're used to people. Well, as we start to go, one literally starts chasing Shane, and Shane's like trying to get in gear and take off.
And
I'm like,
y'all were on motorcycles.
Yeah, we're on motorcycles.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
if you're in a
we're
car, like at least, I mean, like I would feel a little bit safer in a car, but like on a
yeah.
motorcycle, it's like he would get you off in a
we're
heartbeat.
Nope, the motorcycle.
We're completely exposed. There's no, it was interesting, but they are deceiving because like they seem pretty docile, and then they go, I think we're gonna charge at you right now. So.
Well, and I think it's wild that anything that big that can move that quick
Yeah.
is off-putting.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though. Is just like when you hear about like hippos. I know we don't have to worry about those here, but they're like, yeah, hippos will run like 30 miles an hour, and you're like, what?
Well, the videos of them coming after boats.
Yeah, like, but it's insane because like, you see animals like that, and you're like, oh, they're big lumbering oafs, and then you realize like, oh, they will run you down.
Yeah.
Same thing with bears. Like, don't outrun a bear. Like a bear will get you in a heartbeat.
You're big on the heartbeat today.
Yeah, you
Really?
Yeah, heartbeat of America.
Chevy, like a rock.
Anyways, you don't think you could outrun a bear?
Which kind?
A
Slow
bear.
one.
I could outrun a koala
I knew you
bear.
were gonna say koala. I knew you were gonna say koala.
I could outrun a panda bear.
Panda.
I don't know. I don't know how fast black bears run, but like I don't think I could outrun like a brown bear, a grizzly bear, a Kodiak bear. What?
Nothing.
Are you
saying you could outrun a white bear, but maybe not a black bear? I mean, polar bear?
A lean black bear can exceed 30 miles an hour.
I cannot outrun a bear.
Oh. I bet it's not for long, though. Because
It don't need for long. It just needs to be enough to catch you.
One of the most but a black bear's not gonna do it to you. One of the most accidental white trash things I did. I took a day off from work to like help build Theo's like nursery, and I had gained a little bit of weight. What?
I want to know now.
Yeah, now you
Polar
guys
bears
can do that.
run 25 miles per hour.
So I wasn't wearing shoes, wasn't wearing a shirt, and I was wearing a pair of shorts that had lost the button because I gained a little bit of weight. And so Jenny goes, "There's a bear outside." I'm like, "Oh, there's a bear outside?" And so I go outside and I see this bear just running down the thing, and I'm like, I just have my phone on me. I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna run after this bear." Well, I run like
6 miles an hour?
a mile away. No, I ran like a mile
thought you
away
could
from
give us
my
a
home.
speed.
And this poor bear, because I'm thinking like, oh man, this poor bear, like, he's very lean, like, looks like he's just looking for some food. And so, and I don't want people like bugging, because some people are like, oh no, it's a bear, get your gun. Like, they're just stupid about it. I'm like, no. But I'm out of breath, I'm a little out of shape, shirtless, shoeless, pants are falling down because my button's done. And I'm like, don't worry about the bear. We're both out of breath. I'm like, this looks terrible because none of these people know me because I'm nowhere near my own home.
Did you run to have the bear chase you to lead
No,
it away from the neighbor?
I wanted to get a picture of the bear. And then
So
I wanted
you were
to,
chasing the
but
bear,
I
the
wanted
bear
to
wasn't chasing you.
No, the bear was not chasing me at all. And I was like, oh, well, I want to call animal control so that they know, so that people don't do anything stupid.
You wanted a photo for the gram.
I don't even know if, the gram was a thing, but I doubt I put one
Animal
on there.
control. Likely story.
I did call animal control.
He's got a pork chop in his pocket. He
After
chased
I
the
got
bear
it,
into
yeah.
the woods. He's got a camera in hand.
I always
Ain't
have
got
a
no
pork chop in my
clothing on, but
pocket.
he's got a pork chop and a camera.
Yeah.
That's some suspicious activity. But you did preface it with some white trash
It was
activity.
pretty white trash. But everyone was very confused because they're like, why is there an out-of-breath man and an out-of-breath bear?
Yeah.
That like we don't, because I wasn't anywhere near my house, so it wasn't like any of my neighbors at this point.
Imagine what the bear was thinking.
Yeah, right. Like, who is this
Messed up
loony?
chasing me.
He's like,
Yeah, right.
This human's
Like, this is
wild.
last time this happened, I got put in a cage.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So year over year, your cookout's going to be up about 17%, which is in stark contrast to one of my favorite White House tweets ever, where we were saving 16 cents on the cookout last year. Y'all remember that tweet?
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah. So
That one was almost as fun as when the $1,000 stimulus checks came out, and they're like, "This is gonna help families. They can buy a new car,
Yeah.
they can renovate their bathroom,"
Yeah.
and like all of America's like, "Y'all politicians so out of touch and so bloody rich,
Yeah.
you don't even know what stuff costs.
Yeah.
Like you probably just write checks willy nilly, like." And no, and everyone's like, "Nah, I'm paying off credit card debt."
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? That's like 4 trips to Publix.
yeah, that's not even right.
Talk about
One
bathroom
payment.
renovation. My ass.
Get half the tile.
Yeah.
It was like Arrested
You
Development.
could get half of the tile.
Arrested Development when she's like, oh yeah, what could a banana cost these days
Oh, yeah,
anyway?
right.
Just $10? You know,
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
feel like part of like we need to be stricter on these politicians for many reasons, but one of them like we need to just start like testing them. Be
Yeah.
like, yo, how much does
Right.
a loaf of bread cost? And if they aren't within like a certain range, it's like you're out. You can't make financial policy
you're
on
out.
us anymore. You're done. Like you don't have a clue. Like you don't have a like if you don't know and you're
if you
not
have
far
it
out of
that
touch-
rough, just sell your summer home.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
right.
That was also Arrested Development, right?
No, that
No.
was
Wait, that was real life?
that was a pretty famous politician. Yeah. Yeah.
Be like,
Out of
we
touch.
haven't had an economy where people just have summer homes in a very long time. Like, like we're
We
past
barely
that.
have homes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I've seen recently, I got it up there, a few articles that are like, the new avenue, which this isn't new at all. The new avenue to home ownership is lease to own.
Isn't that a mortgage? No.
It's a owner finance mortgage, really.
Is
what
it like
is.
Rent-A-Center but for homes?
Kinda. Not. It shouldn't be as bad, but it could be pretty bad.
Oh, really?
So, but I think that they're pushing it now because there's obviously a good chance that home prices are going to drop. Right.
Gotcha.
Interest rates are way up. Like, so what a lot of people are pushing now, or what I'm seeing at least, the uptick in like, real estate articles is, oh, do lease to own because you're agreeing to the price of the home right now.
Oh.
Which is interesting.
These are the same people sharing the articles. They're like, this isn't like 2008, and this is why it's not going to go down.
Right.
And it's just like, watch them go down and be like, what were y'all saying?
Well, because people can't typically, like right now, if you've been saving for 5 years, all of a sudden that 3.5% for FHA
Yeah.
is now you're barely 1% of the home that you may have been looking at previously. So the goal is, well, you lease to own and you negotiate a part of the rate is that at the end of your whatever 1, 2, 5 years that's your part of what you've been paying is the down payment toward the house. Now what's interesting is
it all seems very fishy.
I almost did this in 2007 for a home that would have been ultimately a third of the value about 2 years later, because I had been saving money, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm in a situation where I can't afford.
So you almost did it. You said 2007.
2007
so that's
or 2008. It
Like,
was
well, the crash was in like 08, so
Yeah.
like, you were like before that.
I was right before that.
Gotcha, and that's
And it
why
was-
it dipped.
It was a nice home that like in my mind 2 or 3 years prior, like I look at that home and I go, oh, I'm going to save for a home just like
Yeah.
this, And then by the time that I had that money saved, it meant nothing because housing prices had gone way up. And so, again, I don't think we're going to have a crash like we had in 2008. I'm not hoping for that. I do hope there's a little bit of a correction, which I think is happening with the interest rate hikes anyway, which, what do I know? I'm an idiot, right? But I will say, I was almost in that same exact position, ended up bowing out because I'm like, it's just a lot of money to say yes to this home price right now. Sure, it may be a bad move for me, but I just can't pull myself to do it. And then, within a year or two, it was now a third of that price. And I'm like, man, I would have been stuck in that home in a lease to own situation.
All I'm saying is just like, Rent-A-Center used to send me their flyers in the mail, right?
Yeah.
And just like those car dealerships send you the flyers with like the keys to come win a prize, and it's like I love reading the fine print because it's like they like legally like have to tell you all of that stuff. Like like they don't have a restriction on how small that print is, but like they got to tell you. And so like all you have to do is read it and find out like, oh, this is an absolute crockery. And so like the Rent-A-Center is like right when PlayStation 5s came out. They're like $4.99 for the one with the disc, and I look at Rent-A-Center and they're like, "Own this for XYZ a week for so many weeks." And I bust out the calculator on my phone because I can't do math in my head, and I calculate it up, and it's like at the end of your term, like that PlayStation 5 that was $500 would cost you about like $900.
Oh, that's a savings because I remember.
But
when
it's
I
just
saw
like, but that's like to me,
it's insane.
Is insane because it's like what they're doing is they're saying, oh, a small fee that you pay weekly.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, oh, it seemed manageable because they're like, oh, pay only $25 a week for so many weeks.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's just like, dang, like why can't like I don't know, like. Why wouldn't you just save 20? That's got to be it. Because like my first thought was like, just save $25 a week until you have $500, and then just buy it for $500 plus 7% tax, and instead of however much you have now. But like, if you really got to play video games now, like I don't know. It just I never looked into it, and it seemed so crazy, and it was just like, wow, that's like really predatory, like in terms of what they're doing. So now, like, I have a very distress for anyone that's like doing like anything like rent to own. I'm like, y'all got crazy high percentages on that.
Rent to own, payday loans, all of it.
Oh yeah,
it's like
because it's
how
like
is
you
this
get
even
a
a thing?
cycle.
Yeah.
I wonder how it's a thing too. Often
I've talked about it before. We had a guy at work that I was realizing, we used to do paper checks, and I'm like, man, don't be in this dude's way when he gets his check because he is out the door. And like no matter what's going on, like he's gone. And finally, I'm like, hey man, is everything okay? And he's like, oh yeah, I gotta get to the check cashing place because if I go more than like 3 hours after that, it's another like $75. And I'm like, wait, what?
And then they charge a percentage to cash a check.
All of it, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, we take 5% of this just to give you cash money.
Yeah. Basically,
wait till they learn about banks.
Right. Basically, what had happened to this guy is he was just like a few $100s behind on his bills. Literally a few $100s, right? Which I know that could be make or break for a lot of people, and it was for him. But less than 300, I think. And he's like, so I get my check, I go cash it. Obviously, he's paying the percentage on getting it cashed. He's paying back what he had borrowed like 3 days before. And I'm like, pal, if this is really all you're in right now, let's break that cycle. I'm going to give you a couple $100.
You don't need to be into them. You don't need to be into them for a lot to like be constant perpetually.
Right.
Like you be in debt for them for $100 perpetually because it adds unless you get that up front.
So I'm like, we're going to break this cycle. And we're going to take a chance, and hopefully, in my mind, I'm like, hopefully this isn't a lie. And so we break that cycle. Dude never has to go back to the check cashing place again. And I'm like, my mind is blown. Like, you're now saving that, $100-something, $50, $70 that you were, spending just to get your check cashed. Like, and you're not paying the interest on the $200 to $300 loan that you had. I don't know. It's just.
I think one reason why they're prevalent too, though, is like, how many workers get off at 5 o'clock and banks are closed? But it's like that gas station that cashes checks and that payday advance place, they're open late.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing because it's like, like my bank closes before, or it opens after I'm at work and closes before I'm off. Like I have to take time out of work to go to the damn bank. Well, so it stinks because it's like they'll cash your checks for you, but you just got to get there.
We were in a flexible situation where we, like it was totally fine if people left and But there are other people, and so I think about that and how, I get it. I was, when I was younger, I remember I used to get my stuff cashed at Walmart. Because, Bank of America would just hold my checks for whatever reason, right?
Yeah, another dumb thing.
It's super dumb. And just happened to someone I know that's very affluent, and they held, like, a pretty big check, even though they deal with big checks all the time. And they're like, yeah, well, we just decided to, sorry. But, so I remember one day I did go to one of the check cashing places, and I could not believe how much they took out of it. And I'm like, okay, never doing that again, but I'm in a position where I at least don't have to. I can't imagine being in that spot where you're like, well, I have to have cash today. So I'm gonna go do this. It's a little bit different with the Rent-A-Center stuff because it's like, all right, you just won.
Well, Rent-A-Center, yeah. I mean, but it's based off of that idea. Like that is just purely playing to people's like wants, and immediate gratification. But also, it's just like it's like you need a bed, and if you can't get financed for a bed, or wait 4 months for it to come in from Wayfair, then
you never slept on the floor?
Huh?
You never slept on the floor?
Yeah, I 100% did.
Yeah.
And then it's like finally you're like, oh man, becoming an adult, I should probably purchase a bed frame.
Every now and then I'll see someone like post a picture and I'm like, damn, they got a bed on the floor? Like,
Yeah.
maybe they just prefer that. Like,
I had a bed on the floor, and then when I was dating Lauren and we moved in together, it was like I had the bed and the mattress, and she had the frame, and so it was just like perfect unison because
works.
when we got together, it was like that mattress and bed frame, that mattress and box spring were on the floor.
Funny how that works.
Oh yeah, because it's like I just spent so much money getting the dang bed. I'm like that frame will come later. Like I can't sleep on the frame. I can sleep on the mattress.
There's got to be a
It
heck of
still
a
works.
markup in mattresses.
Yeah,
There's got to be.
100%. That's why you saw like
It's 100% markup?
I wouldn't be surprised. But that's why I think
surprised either.
whenever you see like a lot of companies pop up that are like online only, no brick and mortar store, we sell direct to consumer, that I mean that's obviously a marketing campaign. And it's an effective one, but it also, to me, says, oh, anybody that sells these products in a brick and mortar store, is probably marking these things up crazy. And like mattresses are one of those. Like you go online, it's like they're like, we'll ship you the mattress if you don't like it. We'll pick it up within 90 days. Because it's like they get that you can't go into a store and lay on it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're like a fraction of the cost of like any of these mattress stores.
Yeah. I will say, it's hard. We bought what I thought was a good mattress that didn't last very long at all, and it wasn't good. We spent a lot of money on it. And then I was like, well, now I don't want to spend good money on a mattress again because it's like, what does it matter?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
this was crap. But the ones that we have now, I was like, okay, it was actually a good investment.
I tell myself all like, and it's funny like with the mattresses though, because it worked on me. It's like you spent a 30-year life sleeping. Why buy a cheap mattress? And I'm like, dang, you're right. I need a good one. So I bought a very middle of the road, low end mattress when it gets my own thoughts. But yeah, it's like I think that's a great marketing tool.
That's
Like
nice. New used.
I spent the money because I got the old man bed that.
Oh.
that's
Go.
yeah.
Pops
Considering
out. And it's
considering
split.
I woke up with a thrown
split.
It's a
back.
split king, and so I can have my feet way up and lifted way up, and my wife can be whatever posture she wants. Yes, she fought
You
me
put a
tooth
quarter
and
in
nail
it,
on
it vibrates.
Yeah. No, it has 3 vibrating settings.
Oh, it
that
does.
just-
You don't have a quarter in?
No.
Humble brag.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yes, very old manny.
You have a recliner.
I have a
You
recliner
bed
now.
that reclines.
Yes, sir. And I love
He
it.
also has a carpeted toilet seat cover and a grab rail in his shower.
Well, we took off. We got the plastic ring on the.
Yeah, right.
I'll be the first to get a ticket. I bet.
And his AARP card.
I do actually have AARP because you don't actually have to be 55.
Anyone
or
can
older.
get it. That means you can get them discounts.
True story.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Happy 4th of July. Make it a safe and fun one.
Don't blow your fingers off. Turn your music down.
Bye.